Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Unsealed, the official podcast of Wings of the Eagle. This is our second one of the week, actually. Did one on Monday as well. And a lot going on in the world, so figured we'd jump on and do this one. Please say hello, whoever you are, wherever you be. And whether you're on YouTube or X, even Facebook, please say hello. And ask any question, make any comment, or express any concern that you'd like, as long as you are cordial, genial, nice, and respectful. No problem. All right, so just type it in. Hey, there's the bond servant. Blessings to you, friend. What's up? We'd love to hear from new folks as well. Doesn't matter if you ever tuned in before. Doesn't matter if you're a church member of ours or not, or if you're a believer or not. We don't care what you believe. Just say hi. And if you're interested in this topic, or if you're totally confused about what the heck this title is, what is the Menzel Gap? But as someone who does know what it is, it's extremely important that you know. And concerning as an American and as a history, not a fan. I mean, as a person who knows history and knows that it's important to know it. And it's not ancient history. This is not, colonialism era or something, or Abraham Lincoln. Even this is my parents' generation, 1950s. I mean, they were little kids at the time, but still, they were around, and this shaped their world, and this shaped the entire world. Very, very literal, real way. And yet most folks, I didn't know what this was until a few years ago. I'm 50 years old this year. I had no idea what this was. Astronomers know what this is. Scientists into this field or any, in related fields to astronomy know what it is, but the rest of the world has no clue. That's not good, because there's very few things that have influenced so much as this little thing called the Menzel Gap. I really am convinced of that. Looking in the last few days and weeks on this, it's hugely impactful. I don't care what you believe about anything. This has affected your world and the entire world, especially you Americans. All right. So as you see below, and as you saw on the intro here, if you're watching the podcast, if you're listening, thank you on Spotify or what have you. Bless you. Please share that and share this wherever you're watching. It really, really helps on YouTube. So like and subscribe and get notifications and all that, please. Very helpful. We do have resources for you, including what you saw at the beginning. We've done work called the hypothesis. There's Madam Rex herself, who is my partner on that, research assistant, not assistant. She's my partner on that. We've come up with a novel interpretation of the UFO phenomenon that very few are thinking about. And we think it's very, very solid. So check it out. We've got writings on it, blog posts, video, long form videos, several hours worth materials. We have a book written up, book form. It's not long, but it is in that, paperback or digital form if you'd like. You check it out. Please study it and get back with us. Back with me, her. We're on X as well. Again, Manti4 right there. You see is mine. And that's her. You could find her on the X platform as well. So please go use that resource called the hypothesis. You can go wingsoftheeagle.com/store. You can find all that, as well as Angels, Demons, and UFOs, which is the other side of the commonly held opinions on this topic, which is must be demons or even angels. And so we have a full several-hour, multi-hour Bible study on every scripture that is cited in the Bible about what could possibly be behind these UFOs thing. And we go deep into that. And so please register for that. Yes, there's a cost because that's the right thing to do. It was a long time in coming and producing it. So as a teacher, you get to be paid for that. Anyway, please register for it and take that. Thank you. Anyway, let's go here. You can find all that at that store link you see scrolling at the bottom. All right. Thanks. Before we get rolling here, for those who don't know what this Menzel Gap and this false history is, Bond Servant says, apparently Patrick Jackson, by the way, we just interviewed Patrick Jackson a few weeks ago, end of July, and we rolled out in 2 pieces and then in the complete form, the interview, and it's spectacular, I must say. Very, very well received, and one of the most watched things we've ever produced, Your Wings of the Eagle, to be honest with you. And it's still being very well received and watched. So please watch that. It's called the Sphere Network. Apparently Pat Jackson is claiming some new information, ? Saw his ex post, but didn't see anything more. I didn't see that he's claiming new information. I saw that he's getting interviewed on bigger channels, Bond Servant, if you want to reference what you're referring to. Maybe I missed something. That's possible. I miss a lot. But I know he's getting bigger interviews, bigger platforms. And I know he has been talking and wants to maybe do something jointly with somebody we'll be talking about today, Dr. Beatriz Villarroel from Sweden, who is basically responsible, her and her team, for pulling ripping the cover off of this bullcrap called the Menzel Gap. And we knew something was wrong. I mean, anyone who looks at this knows something was incredibly shady. The work of historian, the only really historian who's ever done this, called Richard Dolan, but also the very awesome, oh my gosh, why am I thinking, not Leonard Stringfield, Madam Rex, help me out. Oh my gosh. Help me. I'm blanking out. Old man disease here. What the heck? Stringfield. Stanton Friedman. What the? Stanton Friedman also did some work on the man, Donald Menzel, before he died, obviously. And there's a blurb about him in the very excellent book you should all have read by now, called The Day After Roswell, by Colonel Philip Corso. He's named in there as one of the MJ-12, the original control group set in by, at the time of Eisenhower, to put a lid on this UFO problem, because they don't know what the heck is going on, and we've got to do something about this before it gets out. All right, so what the heck is the Menzel Gap? The Menzel Gap, the description in this video gives you the info on it as well. But basically, it's a 15-year period. And again, astronomers and scientists know this. It's not a theory. It's not a conspiracy UFO thing. It's a real thing. Donald Menzel is a very renowned astronomer, scientist, very famous guy. He's discovered nebula, and there's a planet, I think, named for him and all this stuff. He's a real dude. It was. And he was at Harvard, prestigious. They had one of the first telescopes. Well, I don't know if it's the most powerful in the world or one of them. And they were photographing the skies in the 1950s and earlier, and before we ever sent up, or Sputnik was launched by Russia, before we ever had satellites or anything in the skies, we were taking pictures of the stars and mapping them. But this gap was what is the name given because Dr. Menzel was given the presidency, the head of the astronomy department of Harvard in 1952, the end of 1952. And as of the next year, he canceled the program that was taking pictures, or they called them plates because it's the technology there wasn't like a Polaroid camera. There was like, you made glass representations. And they had permanent like records of mapping the stars and what was there in that portion of the sky in these particular days. And they kept like, records in that way. Anyway, they stopped it. They've been doing it for X amount of years. And all of a sudden he says, we don't have the money for this anymore. It's canceled. Okay. Well, he's the boss. Got to stop it. 15 years in a row, it's canceled. So you have a gap. And by the way, as soon as he leaves the office, it's restarted. In other words, nobody wanted to cancel it except him. So there's a gap of 15 years. Oh, by the way, when he when he's ordered the stoppage, he destroyed the ones that he could get his hands on before, like the ones before he ordered the stoppage, the ones he could get on before he got the job. He destroyed those. Why would he do that? So you have a 15 plus year period where there is no record of the stars on these plates. You can't go back and look at this period. Why? Does anyone bother to ask why? Do any astronomers bother to ask that? This is part of the problem. I mean, this is part of the wool pulled over your eyes. This is the false history. This is evidence in itself. Is it not? This is evidence in itself that something major is going on. Something bigger than your average conspiracy, or somebody didn't like something, and some rich guy or some organization or some university run-of-the-mill issue, or somebody tried to get away with something, or some crime or whatever, or even some revisionist history that has happened. And it's human nature. You want to change something, make yourself look better, makes your country or your whatever, cover something up for whatever your reasons. It's happened. It happens. You rewrite history to make yourself look good. Okay. But this is so major that no one cares, that no one bothered to ask why. I mean, apparently no one followed up about it. No one made a stink. Except UFO people. Crazy UFO people. Well, here's the thing. He got the job as the head of the astronomy at Harvard immediately after the biggest, I think this is a true statement, the biggest UFO event in history. It wasn't Roswell. It was 1952. Washington, D.C. over consecutive weekends in July, where many UFOs were seen over the Capitol. Not just by regular people, military, radars, planes were sent after them. The president was briefed. The Joint Chiefs were worried. You name it. This was it. There was no doubt this was the biggest UFO event in modern maybe ever. This had to be, if there was a control group, okay, if there was a, sorry for the air quotes constantly, it's just what I do, Jersey thing. If there was a control group out there that whose mission it was to erase from the collective consciousness or from the memory of the culture this event or anything like it, this has to be job one. This is mission number one. Erase this from the memory banks. Get this away from America's memory. Do not talk about it. It never happened. Just erase it. Send the best debunker we've got, which is Dr. Menzel. He literally made his career on telling everybody he could get in front of. Books, radio, publications, science conferences, whatever. He literally told everyone that every single UFO sighting since the 30s, 40s, and 50s, every single one was prosaic. There was never, ever, ever, not one UFO that was legit ever. He even claimed he himself saw one, but he was tricked because it was, what was it? Saturn and either another planet or a nebula or a cloud or some crap. Whatever. He lied. And everyone else is fooled by some atmospheric condition, swamp gas, Venus, geese, balloons, whatever. He was the Mick West of his day. Right? It's all fake all the time. And anyone who says otherwise is crazy or deceiving you on purpose and trying to make money. That's the lie that is the wool pulled over your eyes. And it's not for no reason. I mean, if that's really the case, ignore it. Why would you spend any time, if you're a scientist, and he was, if you're a scientist, why would you care telling anybody at any point, waste 1 second of your life worried about things that aren't real and the only crazy people talk about? Do your science, for crying out loud. Talk about things that are true and are real. Leave it to the psychologists, the psychiatrists of the world to deal with them, the UFO folks. Well, because he had a mission. He was no ordinary scientist. Richard Dolan, etc. And the others who dug into his past have shown that he was very much involved with the intelligence community, the CIA, the Defense Department, the newly created Air Force, 1947, the CIA, 1947, etc. Very much involved with their activities. He was not a guy off the street scientist. Our Madam Rex is cautioning me against the butterfly effect of the air quotes causing earthquakes on the other side of the world. I got to be careful there. So this has come out now. This is true. We got paperwork. We got a paper trail that Mr. Menzel had a job to do. So now we can see that directly after the largest, most obvious display of UFO-ness, whatever they were, I'm not assigning origin or purpose or reason to the UFO incident itself. Whatever that was, his mission was to cover it up and get it out of your conscious thought, get it out of your history books. Never, ever, ever bring it up again. If we have radar, get rid of it. We have military witnesses, shut them up. We have, oh my God, we have photographic evidence from Harvard. We have these plates. They're taking. Wait a minute. We have not photographs, but they're making astronomical records. They have these glass permanent records on file. That means they're going to have these pictures because they're showing up. That whatever these UFO things are, they were showing up in the sky. They're going to see them on these plates. Menzel, get in there, take over that position. We'll make sure you get the job or whatever. Destroy those and make sure there's no more. Basically, till you're dead. That's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened. And ever since then, you have never read a history book. You have never been taught in school. You have never seen anything about the 1952 UFO flap over Washington, D.C. You've never seen a thing about it. Have you? It was a major news story. Major. Everyone in America knew about it then. Until they didn't. Until the orders came down. No more. You are not to know about this. You are not to speak of it. You are not to acknowledge it. You are not to provide any evidence it ever happened. Everyone is to deny it. Not only this instance, but everything that happened before related to UFOs, everything that happens after, if anything does happen, it never happens. It never happens. That's what we're going with. Never happens. That's the official line. And that's until we make another decision. Our little control group. This was in the 1950s. There was no future plan. There was no, okay, in 10 or 20 years we'll release it all, but for now let's just do this. It was just until something else happens, this is it. It's still going on. There's been no change. These guys are all dead now. They just appointed new people, or I don't know exactly how it got passed down. I'm sure somebody has evidence or opinions, but no one wants to change it. No one, maybe it's too complex and compartmentalized and tied up in legalities and special access programs and secured locations and Department of Energy born classified nuclear secrets and yada, yada, yada. But Dr. Villarroel and her team have found a way around this. And you can go read. Just go find her on X. I'm going to go put her Twitter handle, her X handle, in the comments right here. Whoops, there's a comma in there. Anyway, that's her. Go to x.com and let me try that. I'm going to do this the right way. Okay. Now you can go to the comments and see the direct link to her feed. And you can read all the material that she has. And you will see that she and her team have found a workaround. They found other plates. And what there's some terms that you may not be familiar with, but what she is calling transients, in other words, lights, things that appear in these plates from the 1950s, for example, that are temporary. They're not stars. Stars would be permanent. They're there all the time. They have located things that are there 1 minute, basically, and gone the next. And they're there in formation or in straight lines or things of that nature on specific dates and times, and then gone the next. Like July 1952, on those specific weekends over Washington, D.C. And not only that, but on other around nuclear sites and nuclear tests, dates of nuclear tests, which we have many other witnesses of and evidences for, besides that, from folks who are at these test sites for a long time. This is just further corroboration of that. Bond Servant says they use the Earth's shadow to find them. Yeah, right. And you can get all the details about how they are determining how they're locating these transients. That's a way to basically check their, to make sure they're not being tricked, or it's some kind of filter or defect or whatever. If it's in their shadow, then it can't be. It has to be something within the atmosphere or whatever, not a star. Right? Okay. Anyway, yes, please go read all of that stuff. Please read it and see it. And she's doing a lot of some interviews and stuff now. She was Ross Coulthard had her on the other week or two ago for a pretty long one. So explanations are there. If you don't know exactly how I'm putting it, please go find that out. But it's getting peer reviewed now. There, if that matters to you, it matters to a lot of people. It matters to scientists for sure. She's not expecting an easy, fly through review process by her peers, because this subject, because I'm convinced, because of things like, or maybe just because of the Menzel Gap and the psychological operation that has occurred because of Donald Menzel against the American people and against the world, to not allow the study of these things, to ridicule and to debunk everything, and to call everyone a crazy person or a grifter who takes it seriously. That's a psychological operation against you. And it succeeded up to this point, basically. So she's not expecting an easy go of it, but she is very, very, and her team are very, very convinced, and they're serious scientists. They're not flaky people. No offense to the Nazca mummies folks, who are not serious people. But yeah, she's very sure of the science and their work and rigor. Hey, looks like somebody's controlling my mouse. Okay. There's very sure of their rigorous science on it, so they're not worried about that. They're not worried about the actual review being confirmed, like the science of it being confirmed. They're only concerned with the stigma and other scientists actually jumping on because of the subject matter and what it would mean, and the ontological shock of it, what it would mean to say these are not man-made. We're seeing before Sputnik, before any nation put any artificial satellite or any spacecraft or anything in orbit, before mankind put anything up there, and we know they're not natural. And she's careful to say, well, I mean, I guess there's a possibility that there's some these things are natural phenomena that we don't know about, but they're not natural things that we know about. They're not stars. They're not meteorites. They're not comets. They're not space dust. They're not things that we could today know about. It would like be saying it would be like saying UFOs are natural phenomenon, like literally, not fooling you. They're actually things that are really there, not Venus, not reflecting gases, not like that. They're actually different some things, but they're, you know what I mean? So she's like leaving that open, but the point is they're different. They're not stars, they're not planets, they're not defects. They are something different, and they're organized and they're intelligent. Something behind them is intelligent, and they're not made by humans, and they're not natural that we know of. And it's before anything that man put in space. What does that mean? So any scientist has to come to grips with that now that they see this evidence. Their worldview might be blown up, wouldn't it? Now it's not just a theory. You're looking at it. You have proof. 1950. 1952. Proof, right? This is before the Menzel Gap. And now you're putting two and two together. Wait a minute. We have stuff in the sky before anyone ever launched anything. And yet now we have this mysterious gap for the next 15 years where we can't look at anything. Now I'm beginning to put this puzzle together. The wool was pulled over our eyes on purpose. That means Mr. Menzel and whoever he was working with or for knew the truth. That we would see them, whatever they were, we would see that on those plates in 1952. 1953. The scientific world would have discovered it and told the rest of the world. They had to be stopped. They had to be bought off. Whatever needed to come about had to happen. I don't think there's any other view, any other explanation. I don't. What's yours, friends? Let me know your thoughts right now, or anything else. Let's use this time for some convo or whatever else you want. Otherwise, we can call it a day already. It's 11:59 a.m. Eastern Time, Friday, August 15th. I know there's other things happening in the world today. There's no doubt about that. We could talk about whatever you like. Just want to remind you that, yes, we do have church coming up. If you are not in a church and you're looking for one, we have a thing called End Time Church. You can stay right here on this channel at Wings of the Eagle channel. We broadcast it live on Monday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern. We have live church service. We have live communion, prayer, worship, music, and we teach the Word of God from the Bible, the Holy Bible. And we get together and hang out, do church online. Cool, right? Doing it for 7+ years now. And then we encourage home groups as well. We'll talk about all that Monday. All right, and don't forget to share this as well. Again, please support what we do. If you just want to give money, you can. I mean, you can subscribe on YouTube here, on X as well. I know folks usually don't like to do that. I don't like to do that really either. But if you can give anything or get something in return, that's why you give the link to the store there, because you can get books, courses, original music, I've got an album full of AI music that has to do with topics like we talked about today. The unseen realm, spiritual things, UFOs, all kinds of cool stuff on a album full of music, which is neat. Yeah, so Bible studies, books, music, all that stuff. Merch, shirts, stuff like that. Whatever. These are just ways to help out. Yeah, we've got a Patreon and all that. Whatever you like. Very helpful. All right, friends. Time is yours. Time is yours. I know we've got friends out there. Let me make the rounds, make sure I'm not missing anything. I know most people are probably like, your average, even the history buff is like, a history major has never heard of this. 1950 American history, you're thinking about your typical, white picket fence, dad going off to work with the briefcase and mom cooking dinner and the 2 kids and 3 kids and the pet and like that. The Back to the Future, world. The Jetsons in the past. What? Like where that came from, like that. That world. Yeah. But nothing about this. Nothing about this. Because I'm 100% convinced. I'm 100%. I'm just a man. I'm just a guy with an opinion. But man, what else is the reason for this gap? You really think it's because of this bogus excuse that it was for budget reasons for 15 straight years? From Harvard? Harvard was running out of money? Yeah, right. And then as soon as he left, they restarted again. They miraculously found the money to restart it. I don't think so. We're not stupid. So we know that it was not a thing that they wanted to do other than one man. And now we know why that one man wanted to do it. And we know that his efforts were extremely effective. And him being a scientist is not only rotten and the most anti-science thing he could do, but it turns other scientists, that whole community, turns a whole generation of them into little sniveling cowards because they want to be like their hero. Madam Rex says scientists suppressing evidence are difficult to expose. Highly alarming. How can you, right? They're supposed to be I think what you mean is, like they're the expert. You don't get any higher up on the food chain, right? You go to them. He's the preeminent, astronomer, astrophysicist, or astronomer in the preeminent observatory in the preeminent university in the world. Like, he's the guy. You don't get any higher. So who's going to question Donald Menzel? He's where the buck stops as far as lights in the sky, right? Exactly. Right. Like, who's going to question that? And at a certain point, how you run into, I know I've run into these things in your life. On any topic, eventually, even if it's wrong, your average person is gonna just give up. Is just not only gonna give up fighting, but is gonna eventually say, well, if they believe it, it must be right. If they believe it, they're super smart. He was super smart. Look at all this awesome stuff he's done. Look at this track record. Look at how great of a speaker he is. That's what, right? Look how charismatic they are. They must be right. Who am I to contend with that? Or, or my institution, like, well, look, this is the almighty Dr. Menzel. He must be correct. So let's move on. Let's just accept his opinions and say, well, this UFO thing was nonsense. There's no reason to go looking. What else is new? Like let's move on into the next thing. That's just, who cares that he just destroyed all these plates in 1952 and wants no record of the stars for the next 15 years. Let's just forget that whole topic and stop questioning why that ever happened at all. There's just no reason. There's no reason to question that. It's not suspicious. It's not sus whatsoever. No reason to be suspicious of that, because he's the almighty Donald Menzel. Amazing how powerful social stigma can be. And your profession doesn't matter. Social stigma is social stigma. Your social group, your class, or your, what you do in your community is the same. Doesn't matter if you're in science or religion or, garbage men or whatever. Housewives, you want to blend in. You don't want to rock the boat. You want to go along to get along. You want to make all the money you can and take care of your family, right? You're seeing this with the, if I may, I shouldn't probably go here, but yeah, go Dr. Beatriz. Amen to that. She's rocking it, man. And to what my point is, right, go her and screw the rest of them. Right? This is like these whistleblowers that are complaining that they can't take care of their families if they come forward and face some kind of retribution. What do you expect? What do you want? You want a retirement plan and to blow the lid on the biggest secret of all time? Come on, dudes. How friggin' American, and in a bad way. How American of you. You want your cake and eat it too. Grow up. Count the cost. Yeah, if you're not willing to sacrifice your 401k and your ranch, your good high life and your 6-figure income, then we know what's important to you. Your greed, not the truth. And it's not your country. So stop telling me you're a patriot and you care about your country when what you really care about is yourself. I'd just be honest. Truth isn't valued. That's it, bondservant. Don't tell me you care about that when you don't. Sorry, missed this one. Bondservant says it's wicked and ultimately hurts the public. You're talking about scientists, not, what Menzel did or anyone else who participates in that type of thing. Correct. Of course. Yes. I really can't. I can't even express or wrap my mind around the psychological impact. And we know it's just recently, basically, since the church committee, right? It's like illegal to perpetrate a psychological operation against American citizens. Has it stopped? No. But this is what it is. This is exactly what happened. And it's extremely effective. And when people say, we're in the matrix and get out of the matrix, this is that. This is that. That's why I love that movie, because there are a lot of applicable realities and terminologies in there to times like this, to the Menzel Gap, and what happened after that. What's happening now? Right, billions of people just living out their lives, oblivious. 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 You know what that means? Totally ignorant. They have no idea what they don't even know. And frankly, most of us don't even care that we don't know. It's like before, like if you're a Christian, and I'm preaching to the choir, to those who are commenting here at least. If you're a Christian, think about, to those who it applies to, if you're saved later in life, or you remember what it was like before and after you met Jesus, like the way you view the world, or how the clarity, the I don't want to say revelation, but that's what it is, like the taking the cover off of stuff, the night and day difference, the kingdom of darkness compared to the kingdom of light. It's like, now I can see. Who says, I don't know if it was C.S. Lewis or somebody like that, like I don't believe in Jesus because Jesus is like the sun. But through him I can see everything else, or something like that. I can't remember the quote now, but anyway, the point is, you're not oblivious then, but until you, right, it's so hard to tell someone else that they are when they don't even care to not be. Why should I care that this happened? Why should I care? It's so long ago now, 70 years ago, you know. Why should I care about history? Because it's still happening. The operation's still in effect. The results of the operation are still in effect. It's only my parents' generation. My mother's still alive. My father's still alive. They're still working through the world here. So affecting everything around us. My son is about to go to college next week. Are they gonna, if he takes science classes or some kind of astronomy, or are they going to teach about the Menzel Gap? So anyway, that's where we are, friends. So if you've got nothing else, then we're going to call it a day here. What do we got here? We do have a spaceship coming in November. What? No, November. That's too soon. What's that? Like Heaven's Gate? What are we talking about? Did I miss something? Blah. Blah. November. Thought it was Easter, like in the spring. Yuck. Anywho. All right, guys, we definitely got other things going on today. Let's be about that. If I can help you in any way, shape, or form, reach out to me on X at Mantei4, MANTEI4. That's the best way. Okay, or reply on YouTube, and I'll do my best to get back with you. Next week is kind of touch and go, so that's why I wanted to get in on this today. But so we'll see. We'll see what happens. Monday for sure. Be at church on Monday night, and we'll see what happens after that. Oh, the October, November, the Atlas comet. That's probably a comet thing. Right. Got it. Okay. Oh man, now the I don't know if it's good or bad that Bondservant is always keeping me up to date on the latest rapture dates, because obviously she doesn't believe them and I don't believe them. But it's every single year, and we can just say it's every single September, right? You don't even have to tell me anymore. Every single September, without fail, no doubt. Every single one. And every single Easter time or Passover, pretty much, right? So every single spring, every single September, no doubt. It's just always going to be predicted. Because people get a little knowledge about the feasts of the Lord and, little Feast of Trumpets. Oh, that's it, the seventh trumpet. Or a little, Passover symbology. And, oh, that's it, the return of the Lord. Anyway. If anyone is here who's thinking that it's possible, it's not. Every single rapture prediction is wrong. Every single one that's ever been made is wrong. And I'm not mocking. I'm telling you, I know why it's wrong. Every single one that you're ever going to hear in the future is wrong. Because there is no such thing as an imminent rapture. Jesus is not coming anytime. It doesn't work like that. Every prediction you ever hear, is false. You know it as soon as you hear it. That's a false prophet. Every single one. I don't care if they say they saw God, they went to heaven, Jesus came to them last night, the Holy Spirit told them X, Y, and Z. It's all false. I don't care if they're a famous prophet with $1 million, airplane and known across the world and whatever. They're wrong. God did not send them. God did not tell them anything. Prophesying out of their own heart for their own fame. So everything is wrong when they say that. Don't listen to it. Just shut them off. Get back in your Bible and know that there's a lot of bad things coming before the Lord returns. He only returns once. He only gathers his people to him in what we call the rapture one time. And that's to gather us to himself when he returns to Jerusalem. That's it. We're not going to heaven in the rapture. All right? All right. That's it, folks. Till next time. Pastor Manti is me. You are you. Say your prayers, eat your vitamins. And we'll see you maybe, I hope, Monday night for End Time Church. And till next time, go visit wingsoftheeagle.com/store. Give what you can. Love you all. Bye.